What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel to check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to talk. This guy, Nick Wright, man, is still up to his old tricks. He's Nick Wright is trying to say that he's not trying to say. Well, he said that Michael Jordan is limited, like physically limited, as a basketball player, right? And I don't know why this guy continuously like lie about this, especially when people can see, Mike Jordan. Like if you were not able to watch Mike Jordan when he was in the league, all you got to do is go back and watch tape. I have seen like young guys who never seen Michael Jordan play go back and watch the tape and was, oh, okay, I see why, I see what all the fuss is about with this guy, man. He the real deal, right? You gotta do your homework. You can't let this guy Nick Wright lie to you about Michael Jordan being limited physically. And the thing that Michael Jordan, first of all, Michael Jordan, I think he in college at North Carolina, what's the coach name? He said that Michael Jordan ran a 4.3. That is like a 4.3 is like that's world-class speed. Then on top of that, Michael Jordan had a 48-inch vertical, right? And not even a lot of, most NBA basketball players don't have 48-inch verticals. So that's, like that right there is just telling you right there that Nick Wright is lying and exaggerating. His guy LeBron James don't have a 48. Well, he might have had a 48-inch vertical. I know when he was at Miami, LeBron James, he was jumping out the gym when he was at Miami. So I don't, and then I'm not even gonna go all into that. But I know for a fact that he didn't have 4.3 speed. He wasn't nowhere as quick as Michael Jordan. No, and athletic. Like the dunks that Mike used to do, LeBron James would never even try the dunks that Mike used to do, right? So the fact that he says that, and athleticism in basketball, in my opinion, is overrated, right? Because if you look at Mike's game, that's all Mike. What that's basically what Mike. That was his calling card, his athleticism, the way he used to glide from one end of the paint to the other, and then throw the ball up off the opposite side of the rim, off the backboard, hanging in the air while guys, with the ball. Who was that guy? That this one play Mike went and jumped. Oh, I think it was Brent Barry. And I think Brent Barry was playing for who he's playing for. I think he was playing for the Clippers at the time. And Brent Barry, that guy can really jump too. He won the dunk contest. Anyway, Michael Jordan jumped. He had the ball in one hand, was palming the basketball. Brent Barry jumped and was actually above Mike, but Mike hung in the air and took with one hand. Remember, he got the ball with one hand, hung in the air, put the ball back down, and just put it around Brent Barry and threw it off the glass. You'll never see the moves that Mike made. You'll never see, not just LeBron James, but most basketball players wouldn't even attempt that stuff. Like, and I'm talking about early in Mike's career. So if you say he physically limited, number one, that's not true. Then on top of that, Mike's game evolved because he knew that you had to be more efficient. And so a lot of the shots that Mike took when he early in his career, those highlight film type shots, Mike knew that you're not going to win championships like that. Every play not going to be a highlight. Like what are the odds of you coming down on every play and just doing something spectacular? You might get 2 or 3 of those type plays in a game, but that's only 6 points. So Mike, his game evolved and he became a more efficient basketball player. That's where you talk about less movement and being able to score like in a box or in a circle, right? You put him, he either dribble one time left, pull up, one time right, pull up, turnaround jumper. Like his game, he just was more efficient. By the time he started winning championships, he was more efficient. LeBron James' game has never been efficient. You know, he didn't develop his game like that. His game has always been about like him being able to muscle his way past people and then force his way down the lane. There's no finesse to LeBron James' game. Not like what Mike is or Kobe. Kobe, his game evolved like that. Whereas though, Kobe developed a turnaround jumper. And Kobe was very effective on the wings. They learned that you got to be able to be efficient. You can't be a high volume shooter and think you're going to win multiple championships like that. Basketball just don't work like that. In any sport, any business, you want to be efficient, and that Mike was very efficient in his scoring. Who was the guy? George Gervin said that Mike Chuck, he put up a lot of shots, which Mike did shoot a lot. When he first got to the league, Mike had a whole bunch of shots. Right, Mike, and he put up some numbers, and that was good. But as Mike learned the game and as Mike developed his skills, he became more efficient. So he didn't have to run down and do a spectacular play every time down. That's not sustainable. If Mike had not evolved his game, Mike probably wouldn't. He probably been like Dr. J. Probably would only had like 1 or 2 championships in his career. I think Dr. J got a chance. I know he got one with the Sixers, right? I don't think they won 2 while Dr. J was there, but that's a whole nother story. I think Dr. J came to the NBA. He was a little bit. He had spent a few years in the. He came to the NBA from the ABA when they merged. So, and he do have some championships in that league, but Mike wouldn't have had all those championships that he had if he'd have continued to be he wasn't as efficient earlier in his career. So he developed his game. LeBron James never did that, and so I just think that when Nick Wright says that Mike was limited physically, number one, is not true, and he's being if he think that LeBron James was better than him as far as physically, then he's out of his mind for real. Nobody in the league was as and we watched Michael Jordan dunk contest against Dominique, man. This guy Nick Wright, man, is just losing his mind. He losing his mind. For Mike to beat Dominique Wilkins and Dominique Wilkinson in a dunk contest, man, that was. I mean, what can I say? Mike was that dude. Mike was that dude, especially early on in his career. By the time he went for his second three-peat. Mike wasn't doing all that, all that floating from one end of the lane to the next and then throwing the ball off the backboard. He wasn't doing that. He had refined his game. And if you look at any great scorer, and I always use Kareem because nobody was as efficient as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with that sky hook. That was his signature shot. That sky hook that was like money in the bank. It was money in the bank. Like once Kareem got to a certain area on the court and you allowed him to get that ball in that low post, it was over with. It was over with. And so the whole thing with Kareem is like you got to keep Kareem, you got to push him. The further away from the basket his defender pushed him, the better it was, for the opposition. Because if he anywhere near that paint, that was like money in the bank. So the whole game, you're trying to push Kareem away from you, fronting him. You putting your elbow in his back, just to get him as far away from that paint as you can. Because he was very efficient with that sky hook. Same thing with Michael Jordan. Like once Michael Jordan got to a certain area on the court, like it was money in the bank. He either was going to, he's going to go either left one dribble and pull up, right one dribble and pull up, or if he had his back to you, he was going to spin to the left, or he was going to spin to the right. So all this having a bag, being athletic, although Mike had a bag and was very athletic, he just developed his game into somebody who was just very efficient. And over the years, LeBron James never did that. And for Nick Wright to say that Mike was limited, I just think that number one, I don't know if Nick Wright say these kind of things for clicks and views, but I just think that he's dishonest. You know, he's dishonest. And I don't know what Nick Wright is going to do, like when LeBron James retire, man. And I don't know what he's going to do, man. This just crazy. These stories that Nick Wright be telling, and you know, and the thing about it is, people don't take Nick Wright serious anymore. I don't think, man, because he just he just lying, man, when he said that Mike is limited physically, and Mike could play baseball and basketball, so it's crazy. But that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, man, I'm gonna check y'all out in the next video.